Name is Dr. Faria Bukhari, Dr. Fab. Today I'm going to talk about the scam of the century, which is the two-state solution. Where is it? Where is the two-state solution? Where is it? We have only a mission to create one state, which is complete domination of the entire Middle East by the Israel, to convert the entire Middle East, engulfing many small nations, primarily predominantly Muslim, converting them into a greater Israel territory. These maps have been issued multiple times. They're all over the media. You can look them up. I can share them with you. But where is the two-state solution? Where is that tiny little spot that says in that greater Israel map that yes, Palestinians have the right to live as human beings and the right to exist? If today the American leadership is upset and angry about what happened to Israelis, they are responsible for it. Because for the last so many years and decades, US has been using the policy of deceit and cover-ups and injustice and doing unilateral lobbying, not just in the United Nations, but all over the world, trying to protect Israeli interests at the cost of the American national interests. Even if US has to be plunged into a war in Iraq, even if US has to be plunged into a war in Syria, even if US has to be plunged in a war in Libya, for the sake of greater Israel, the corrupt leadership of the Democrats and the Republicans has thought nothing about the American people, has no respect for the two-state solution, and has gone forward 100% with escalating violence, aggression, not just in the region of Palestine, but all over the Middle East. There is no limit to the amount of aggression, the amount of invasion, colonialism, the amount of atrocities, the amount of violence, the amount of violation of human rights, the amount of war crimes that have been committed by the terrorist regimes of the US administrations, not just the Republican Party, but also the Democrat Party. If you decided to weigh upon which party did less war crimes, you can say, yeah, the Republicans were a little bit better, maybe by 1%, maybe. But the Democrats, within the last few decades, have competed well in terrorism against the Middle Eastern countries, primarily Palestine, and have exceeded in expectations from the investors who want anarchy, who want unrest, who want chaos, who want a perpetual cycle of destabilization, and who are not interested in the two-state solution, but they're selling it to the Palestinian people, especially to the Muslim world, so that they can give them that lollipop and put them back to sleep. That, yeah, there is a two-state solution coming up. Oh, yeah, we have a plan. Oh, yeah, we have a two-state solution. Oh, yeah, we do believe in the coexistence of Palestinians with the Israelis. Oh, we do believe in your sovereignty right, but we are going to, at the same time, we are going to fund terrorist Kurd militants who are going to go and blast Ankara. Oh, yeah, we do believe in the right of Syrian people to have their sovereign country, Syria, but at the same time, we do want to break Syria into two pieces. Oh, yeah, we do believe in the sovereign right of Iraq to live independently as an independent country, but at the same time, we do want to convert it into a Shia Iraq and a Sunni Iraq. Oh, yeah, we do believe in the sovereign right of the Afghanistan and the people of Afghanistan to live independently in their own country, but at the same time, we do want to plunder Afghanistan, its resources for years and years, and we do want to profit from the opium trade, you know, at the cost of the lives, precious lives of the people of Afghan. And we do want to back up these mercenaries, these militants like ISIS that was dead, that was eliminated. We wanna wake it up. This is the policy. This is the policy of the terrorist US regime for the last many years. I'm telling you the truth. I'm live right now. And I don't know, they're going to hurt me if I tell you the truth, because telling the truth has become so dangerous. Look at what happened to Assange. I'm an activist. I'm a registered US activist. I have rights. As an American citizen, I have rights. But look at what they did to Assange. Look at what Hillary was able to come up to indict Assange. He's still in jail. Why don't you understand that you're in a state of communism? That this is total draconian, totalitarian, one government agenda that wants to control the entire world, that does not, I repeat, that does not believe in the two-state solution. It was just a lollipop given to the people of Palestine to retreat, to de-escalate, to listen to them, to try to concede major territories. You cannot clap with one hand. In order to clap, you need two hands. If you want to shake hands with someone, you need a hand from the other side. Palestinians in their rallies are asking for the Israelis to come to the table, to have a peace dialogue, to try to negotiate about the release of the Palestinian prisoners who have been incarcerated under no charges, extrajudicially, for years. There are thousands and thousands of Palestinians right now under strict conditions, unkempt conditions, sitting in the Israeli jails, waiting for their voices to be heard by the so-called Israel-invested and paid humanitarian organizations. Palestinians want words, dialogue. Even Hamas is saying, come to the table, give us your prisoners, stop doing all this oppression, go back to the two-state solution. But Israel is not willing to listen. And neither is Biden, nor are his puppets sitting in Italy, in UK, in France, and Germany. Scholz, Mattarella, Sunak, Macron are as much war criminals, bigots, Islamophobes, crusaders, and human rights violators and genocidal terrorists as Biden administration is. Biden started this unholy crusade, bloody crusade, on purpose, because his investors thought that he could not win the elections again. He was losing to Trump miserably, and they had to complete the agenda of Greater Israel. So Biden instigated the entire fiasco in the Middle East. The Ukraine war was not serving the purpose that Biden's investors, I'm talking about Hillary Clinton, I'm talking about George Soros, who are technically running the White House right now. Hillary Clinton is that crazy woman, the Red Queen, who wants everybody to have his or her head decapitated for disobedience. Off with his head, off with her head. That's her policy. And that is why she was rejected, because she has no room for the two-state solution. Now, her husband, Bill Clinton, bluffed Yasser Arafat. He was not interested in peace, he was interested in deterrence. two-state solution was an operation of Mossad, an operation of Mossad's investors, and an operation of the entire Western hegemonic regimes, the terrorist regimes, to deter not just the Palestinian people, but the entire Muslims. Today I see Erdogan talk about the two-state solution. Where is the two-state solution? OIC talks about the two-state solution. Where is the two-state solution? I see even the Pakistani leadership talk about the two-state solution. Where is it? Where is that two-state solution? What we are seeing is mass destruction of the entire Middle East. We cried over Iraq. We cried over Afghanistan. We cried over Syria. We cried over Yemen. We cried over Libya. We are still crying over Syria. We have been crying over Palestine. We have been crying over Kashmir. And now, just a year left in Biden's exit, and what happens? Another bloody crusade is initiated. Another bloody war is started. And who is suffering? The entire world is suffering. Who's winning? Raytheon is winning. Lockheed is winning. Their stocks are skyrocketing. Your kids and my kids are going to suffer from starvation, from food insecurity coming out of this war after the Ukraine war. But the kids of the CEOs and the policy makers and breakers of Raytheon, Lockheed, they're going to make money of the bloodshed of the Palestinian people. So there is no two-state solution. It is an all-out war. It has always been an all-out war. Netanyahu is a war criminal, and he is a war machine. You cannot shrug off Biden as being helpless. No. Biden is not helpless. Biden is the mastermind. Biden did this. This is Biden's doing. He did this. He has been instigating escalation of violence in Syria, in Ankara. He's been trying to create a country, Kurdistan, out of Syria, Iraq, and Turkey. If someone tried to create a country out of another country, out of 3 states of US, what would you feel? How would you feel if someone tried to? Syria is upset because Biden has been consistently funding, sponsoring creation of a sovereign country by amputating their countries. Syria, Iraq, Turkey. They're targeted, they're attacked, they're under attack by mercenaries on the paycheck of Biden to create Kurdistan. How is this legit? The United Nations Charter. And then what's going on with the Golan Heights? Is it legitimate occupation by the Israeli militants and the terrorists that are on the paycheck of the Biden regime? And these other 4 criminals sitting in Europe and UK, Rishi Sunak, Scholz, Mattarella, and this 4th guy, Macron. And what's next? So, two-state solution is gone. It's evaporated. It's done. There is no more two-state solution. It's just a maniac, a group of maniacs, homicidal killers who are totally insane, who want complete decimation, eradication, obliteration of the entire Palestinian race, and who want to convert the entire Middle East. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. I'm talking about Oman. I'm talking about Qatar. I'm talking about Bahrain. I'm talking about Kuwait. I'm talking about Iraq. I'm talking about Afghanistan. I'm talking about Pakistan. I'm talking about Turkey. I'm talking about Iran. They want it all converted into their greater Israeli kingdom. They have issued a new map that even includes Saudi Arabia, that includes even a lot of other countries that were not on the initial map. Their expansionist policy, global domination policy, has gotten not better, but worse. Their ambitions have become deadlier. Their, their ideology has become more lethal. They do not want to coexist with anybody who does not agree with their ideology. They want complete annihilation of entire race, entire civilization. These are the same people who killed 1 million Iraqis under the impression of weapons of mass destruction. Yesterday, when I was listening to Biden, honestly, he reminded me so much of George Bush before the 2003 Iraq invasion. He was creating a narrative. The mainstream media is creating a narrative that Israel is under attack, the freedom and democracy of US is under attack, and the Western powers is under attack. That Hamas is going to attack everybody, Hezbollah is going to attack everybody, and we have to go in and we have to attack Iran, we have to attack Syria, we have to attack, well, they've been attacking Syria, but now we have to do more. And we have to destroy the entire Palestine, and we have to do this, and we have to do that. So they are instilling that fear in the American people before the upcoming election. We got to do this, or Hamas is going to do this to you. Or this is the same thing that happened in 2003. They killed 1 million Iraqis. We have yet to get prisoners out of Guantanamo Bay, Abu Ghraib, the horror stories of these scumbags, what they did in the name of freedom and democracy, using the tax dollars of the American people, and also European people, and also the British people, who are not supporting all of this. I know the American people do not want this unholy crusade against the Muslim people, the Muslim nations. I have lived in US for almost 2 decades, and I found American people, I'm talking about the civilian people, very open, very nice, very sweet to the Muslims. They do not want a war with the Muslims. They do not have an issue with Islam. I have lived in UK as well. I know the British are right now doing so much activism for the freedom of Palestine. And for the first time, this time, in this escalation of violence, we are seeing the whole world united firmly on the point of the right of self-defense of the Palestinian people. Beforehand, it was always like that they would buy the narrative that Israel gave them, that, yeah, oh, this is terrorism, oh, this is militancy. But now they're saying, no, this is self-defense. You've been shooting their kids on sight. You've been mutilating their children. You've been detaining activists. You killed Shiri. She was a journalist, just like that. And you even messed up with her funeral. And Rachel Corrie, an American activist, she was just trying to be there. She was a social worker. They killed her. These are the people who attacked the USS Liberty ship. Remember that, right? And these are the same people who were dancing when the 9/11 happened. And the FBI declassified papers did show that they had foreknowledge of 9/11. Imagine that you have an ally. Imagine that you're sending that ally billions and billions of dollars of aid, military aid, and other aid. I'm talking about Israel. I'm talking to the American people. And imagine that that ally had foreknowledge of 9/11 on your soil, and that ally did not tell you about it. What does that tell you about that ally? That ally was complicit in 9/11, and that is why that ally had 5 Israelis dancing when 9/11 happened. So don't get bluffed again. This two-state solution is a bluff. What Biden is trying to do is he's trying to invade Iran. He's trying to reignite the entire Middle East. They backed off because of the super pressure from the American people against the government. They didn't want any controversies. They wanted favors. They wanted a favorable opinion from the U.S. Citizens. So they decided to back off and from the Middle East and went into Ukraine. But now they want to go back into Middle East. They want to do it again. The whole 9 yards. It will be Syria erupting like a volcano. It will be Yemen reigniting. It will be Saudi Arabia going down. It will be Oman. It will be Bahrain. It will be Kuwait. It will be UAE. It will be all these small Gulf nations. They'll be done. They want to be done with them, and they want to take on Iran. They wanna take it down, and they have their ambitions. They want to get over with it before Biden loses his office. He has just 1 year to achieve it, and he has to create some kind of a drama to be able to achieve it. And he did that drama yesterday. And it's only a matter of time that Biden leaks are going to happen, and the American people are going to find out how he instigated the entire fiasco in the Middle East, how he ignited everything. He's the one who bombed the Syrian military academy. He's the one who has now a U.S. ship sitting in the waters next to Palestine. He's now sending aircrafts over there. He's also sending more missiles, and he's also sending more interceptors for the Iron Dome. He is pushing U.S. to get involved in a war that is not even an American war. It is not an American war. It was never an American war, just like the Iraq war was never an American war. But Americans were pushed into it, and we all saw what happened after that. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. There is no two-state solution. I request the American people, I request the European people, including the French, the Italians, and the British people, and also the Germans, to stand up, to rise and protest against their corrupt and their terrorist leaders. It is very important that you do it right now. And what's the other thing they're doing? Do you know what they did in France the other day? When when pro-Palestinian protesters were flooding the streets of France, they had this brutal crackdown by Macron. So Macron is going against the Constitution of France. Mattarella is going against the Constitution of Italy. Olaf Scholz is going against the Constitution of Germany. Rishi Sunak is going against the Constitution of Britain. Biden is going against the Constitution of US. They're all terrorist maniacs. They are certified terrorists because they killed almost 200 children in Gaza just the other day. Yes, they did it. It's not just Israel. Israel is their war machine. Israel is their war machine. Netanyahu is their war machine. The real terrorists are Biden. The real terrorist is Rishi Sunak. The real terrorist is Olaf Scholz. The real terrorist is Mattarella. The real terrorist is Macron. And they are right now arresting, paralyzing the civil liberties of the American people, the British people, the French people, the Italian people, the German people, by calling them anti-Semitic. Arresting them in the name of anti-Semitism, when these protests are not against the Jews. Jews are actually part of this protest. Medea Benjamin, she's a Jew. She is the head of Code Pink. She's been working for the Palestinians for years now, against Israel. No, these pro Palestine protests are not against the Jews. They are not against Judaism. They're not against Moses, peace be upon him. The security of the Jews is not under threat. These are against oppression. These are against injustice. These are against Zionism. These are against global domination. These are against the genocidal terrorism that is being inflicted upon millions and millions of people in not just Palestine, but in Syria, in Iraq, in Libya, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Kashmir, by these genocidal terrorists sitting in Washington, D.C., in London, in Germany, in France, and in Italy. These 5 leaders must be prosecuted by their citizens for breaking the constitution of their countries, for committing treason, by trying to launch an unholy crusade, bloody crusade, against 2 billion Muslims of the world, using the tax dollars of their voters, using the tax money, euros, and the pounds of their voters, against the will, against the wishes of the masses of their countries. They have no respect for the constitution of their countries. They are not serving the interests of their countries. They are serving the interests of the corporations that control the military, that control the oil companies. They're serving the interests of a few corporate elite who have a vested interest in making money out of the bloodshed of not just the Ukrainian people, but also the Middle East again. Ukraine war could have ended a long time ago. It was lengthened by the Biden administration because they didn't want it to end. They wanted to make more money out of it. And now the same story is here, that before he leaves, he wants to complete his agenda of Greater Israel all the way, not just in Palestine, all the way to Pakistan and beyond. They have been supporting Akhand Bharat Hindutva program through India, through Kashmir, domination. They've been doing all that. They have done nothing to de-escalate this going on in Kashmir. They've actually aggravated it by supporting the butcher of Gujarat. All these years, they have been giving standing ovation to Modi, who's right now supporting Israel in return, who's as much of a Zionist as they are. So they have this global domination plan where they want to create a kingdom, like a big, huge kingdom, like an empire, where there's no room for anybody who disagrees with them. And that not just includes the Middle East and Ukraine or, beyond Middle East, Southeast Asia. That also includes US as well. That also includes all of Europe. That also includes Britain. Because if you cannot stand up and protest for Palestinians, and they're going to arrest you, they're going to target you with tear gas and with shells and call you anti-Semitic when you're not anti-Semitic, and arrest you for this, then you're not in a democracy. Then you're in communism. Because when such things happen in communist countries, when they used to happen in Soviet Union, they used to write up about it, they used to denigrate them, and they used to find a reason to fight with them and go to war with them. When such things happen in North Korea, you talk about it and you look down upon it. But right now, these things are happening in US. These things are happening in Europe. These things are happening in UK, where the average citizens have been forced to lose their right of civil liberties that allows them to stand up and resist and desist and protest peacefully against injustice, against genocidal terrorism that is being committed by their leaders, by their governments, against their wishes using their tax money. They are not allowing you to do that. They are not listening to you. So, how can you say that they are following your constitution? Or how can you say that they're observing your democratic rights? They're communists, they're dictators. It's a totalitarian, authoritative regime. You need to confront it and you need to get rid of them. If you want peace, you have to get it by removing these genocidal terrorists from office. Bye bye.